Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties, education, and legal defense organization. Join us now as we explain the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Liberty Counsel 1, Eric Holder 0. Liberty Counsel wins a battle in the abortion debate. Hi, I'm Shawn Akers, Vice President for Middle Eastern Affairs with Liberty Counsel, and joining me again in studio today is Ron Miller, a writer, a commentator, and the Associate Dean for the School of Government, the Helms School of Government at Liberty University. Ron, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We've got a great victory and a very interesting case to discuss today. Ron, there's a lady that Liberty Counsel has been representing named Susan Pine, and Susan is an extraordinary woman. Susan had an abortion herself earlier in life and realized later exactly what that meant and what had happened, and she's dedicated her life to speaking with others and trying to keep other people from making that mistake. Earlier in the year, for those of you that follow our press releases, you know that Susan Pine actually counseled an 18-year-old couple, and they kept the baby. That baby is alive and will live a long and prosperous life, largely because this little lady had the compassion to reach out and speak with an 18-year-old couple. Now, this is something she does on a regular basis. Now, let me tell you something, Ron. I know this is striking, but sometimes the government acts in slanted ways. I know that's going to come as a great surprise.
I'm stunned.
So while Eric Holder, the Attorney General of the United States, you would think that he has plenty on his plate to handle, especially with things like the Occupy movement, standing out in front of businesses so people can't get in and can't drive their cars, and a variety of actual crimes to commit. He decided that this little lady was worth prosecuting, coming down with the full force of federal law over the FACE Act. That's the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. Now, let me start there, Ron, that of all the social protests that goes on, one, and only one, is treated entirely different than all the rest. If you want to protest ships that do whaling, you get treated like everybody else. If you want to occupy Wall Street or occupy your neighbor's house or occupy Congress or occupy whatever, you seem to get a pass until you break some other law. But if you want to participate in nonviolent protest or free speech around a clinic, around an abortion clinic, all bets are off, and you get treated entirely differently under this Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. So, seeing that those people get treated differently, Susan Pine found a particular abortion clinic, and here's the terrible travesty of illegality that she committed, Ron. She was apparently allegedly holding a sign, and she was speaking to people as they went into the clinic. She crossed a public road on a public crosswalk to approach a vehicle that was going the wrong way up a one-way street, and there was a policeman hiding in the bushes. This is a sting operation, to make sure. Now forget that Eric Holder is dealing with Fast and Furious on one side and he's putting guns in the hands of criminals. We've got bigger problems because Susan Pine would like to talk to people before they go in to have an abortion. And they arrested this lady, and they came down on her. Eric Holder's office, the Office of the Attorney General of the United States, Ron, found it worth its resources to persecute, and I say that properly, and prosecute this lady, threatening her with a $10,000 fine and a permanent injunction away from that clinic.
Now, is there anybody out there hearing this and being chilled by it? Because you should be. When you think about all of the weight and the authority of the United States government being brought down on one citizen for exercising her First Amendment rights, that ought to send a chill up your spine. And it really is infuriating. In fact, I was thinking, what if I was the police officer who got that assignment that morning? I wonder what he was thinking. I hope he was thinking to himself how foolish this was as he was doing it, because it's an absolute travesty. And I love what you pointed out about the fact that you can do anything. I mean, yesterday they were actually in the Rayburn House office building. The Occupy movement people were there, and they were doing what they have typically done, which is be a major nuisance. But you didn't see Eric Holder standing there directing all of the weight and authority of the Department of Justice to get them to calm down. I mean, they were within yards of the offices of our representatives, and that was okay. But it's just another example of just how corrupt our government has become, how much this absolute power that we, the people, have allowed them to gain has corrupted them beyond redemption.
You know, when we talk about the importance of putting, biblically we're told that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But the opposite's true when you put others in. And there is an ideology. You and I have talked about it. We talked about it yesterday. There's a secular humanist ideology that wants to erase everything Judeo-Christian from the United States, and you can't deny it, Ron, when you see something like this, that the Department of Justice would expend these kind of resources to prosecute one little lady who wants to counsel people before they make a life-altering decision and fails to clear the Rayburn office building of people that are blocking the work of the federal government. I mean, it's so one-sided. Now, luckily, in this case, and this will show you just how off base the Department of Justice was. Now, you want to talk about a stretch. Here's where the rubber meets the road, and the proof is in the pudding to wear out all the cliches we can find. The judge that heard this case. Now, there are a couple of ways that you win or lose a case. If you take it all the way to trial, you have a finder of fact, a judge or a jury say yes or no, guilty, innocent in criminal cases, whatever. Come to a decision after the facts. If a case is so weak, Ron, that no reasonable finder of fact, no reasonable jury could ever apply the law in a reasonable way to those facts, and you have any chance of winning legitimately, then we use something called a motion for summary judgment. It means that under the facts that are not in dispute, the mover's entitled to judgment as a matter of law. It means literally that no reasonable jury could find for you in this case. That's what happened in this case. The judge granted Liberty Counsel's motion for summary judgment and threw this case out on its ear. The judge basically said, "I can't believe that you would even bring this." Here's some of the judge's language. The evidence could not lead. This is what Judge Kenneth Riskamp said in his 21-page opinion. The evidence could not lead a rational jury to find that Miss Pine's conduct, i.e. having peaceful conversations with clinic visitors on a public sidewalk, constituted a physical obstruction within the meaning of the statute face. Ron, help me find an explanation for this other than the obvious, that this Attorney General wants to stamp out the Judeo-Christian approach to the topic of abortion.
Well, the judge himself said that I don't have evidence of a conspiracy, but it sure looks like one. He himself.
The judge said that.
The judge said that, yeah, and you're looking at it, and he's right. He looked at this and he said, "This is ridiculous. What are you doing? It seems to me that we have a problem here, and it isn't Ms. Pine." And so I think that when we look at a case like this, first of all, I commend the judge. There are so many judges out there who seem to be part of this this travesty that we see out there. And here's one who actually looked at the merits of the case and made a wise decision. So I commend him for that. And it just seems to me that hopefully this will chill these sorts of things, but knowing them, I don't think it will.
You know, common sense has become such a rare commodity that it takes our breath away when we see it. But we've got it now. This judge found the common sense in it. This is a huge victory for Liberty Counsel and a huge victory for our supporters. Harry Mehet, the attorney that handled this case, did an incredible job, and it was because of your support that we were able to win this case, set things right for Susan Pine, and win one for free speech and for the fight against abortion. Now, if you would like to do more to support Liberty Counsel, let me encourage you to do that, because these are the results of your support. Call us at 1-800-671-1776. Consider supporting us in prayer, supporting us financially, and supporting us ideologically. You can always find us on the web at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.